Yo, what is up, guys? Today we are going to be doing a full card prediction for Bellator 251, Manhoef versus Anderson. Now, this fight card currently has 10 MMA bouts. There were 3 fights that were canceled. There were supposed to be 13 fights on this card, but now it has been reduced to only 10 fights. Still a lot of good fights on this fight card. We have Ali Zabian taking on Bianchi Zimmerman in the first fight of the night. Then we have Jessica Ruiz taking on Sumika Inaba. We have Jessie Miel taking on Janae Harding. We have Alex Polizzi taking on Julius Glekas. We have Jory Karachonyan versus Bryce Logan. That should be a very good lightweight bout. We have 2 debutants in Jalen Bates versus Joe Supino. We have Austin Vanderford, undefeated, versus Vincius de Jesus. We also have Derek Anderson, who was supposed to do a main event a couple weeks ago against Paul Daly, but had to pull out. And he's fighting Achilles Mota. That should be a good fight as well. And in the co-main event of the evening, we have Tyrell Fortune taking on Saeed Salma. Tyron Fortune, he's been trying to fight a lot of different fighters. In his last fight, it was a no contest against Jack May from an accidental low blow. So we'll see what he can do against Saeed Salma. And in the main event of the evening, the fight you all want to see, we have Melvin Manhoef versus Corey Anderson at light heavyweight for the main event. That fight should be absolutely amazing. So let's get to the first fight of the night. We have Ali Zabian taking on Bianchi Zimmerman. This fight's pretty good. We have 5-4-1 Bianchi Zimmerman versus Ali Zabian, who's 4-2. Ali Zabian, he is 26 and a half years old. Bianchi Zimmerman is 35 years old. Much older. Ali Zabian's 5'6". Bianchi Zimmerman is 6'1", has a huge advantage there, 7-inch height advantage. A lot of people are expecting this fight to go all the way. I honestly think this fight's going to go all the way. Ali Zabian can definitely get a knockout in this fight. I'm not saying a knockout, but I do think Ali Zabian is a little bit better on the grappling and the wrestling, and is a little bit better on the striking as well. And I think his age is going to play a factor in this fight as well. I do think Ali Zabian is going to win this fight by unanimous decision. The second fight of the night, Jessica Ruiz against Sumiko Inaba. 2 fighters, one of them who is 0-0, one who is 0-1. Now, Sumika Inaba is 29 and a half years old. Jessica Ruiz is 36 years old. And in her only pro MMA bout, it was actually against Jennifer Chiang, and she ended up getting knocked out in the very first round back in 2018. Sumika Inaba, on the other hand, she's had a lot of amateur bouts. She lost one of her amateur bouts, but that was by decision. She has 2 second-round KOs, a unanimous decision, a second-round armbar, a first-round KO, and a third-round KO in her amateur career. She definitely has a lot of power in her hands. A lot of people think she's going to go out there and get a knockout in this fight against a 0-1 Jessica Ruiz. And quite honestly, I do think she could definitely get a knockout in this fight. And if she does, I think she'll get that knockout in the first or second round. Alright, the next fight we have, Janae Harding versus Jessie Miel. These two are top 20 women's featherweights. Janae Harding 5-4, Jessie Miel 9-4. Jessie Miel is coming off a loss to a very, very good fighter in Julia Budd at Bellator 244. Janae Harding, she's also coming off of a loss against Amanda Bell by third round TKO. Pretty sad loss, and she's also coming off of 2 boxing losses by unanimous decision and KO. Honestly, this fight should be pretty close, pretty interesting fight. Honestly, Jessie Miel, I think, is just a little bit better of a striker. She is a lot older at 35 and a half years old. Janae Harding is 26 years old. I think Jessie Miel is just a little bit, just slightly better at her striking. I think this fight will go all the way, and I do think Jessie Miel will win this fight by unanimous decision. But it is a very close fight. Janae Harding is definitely a good striker as well, and she could definitely win this fight by unanimous decision as well. I honestly think this fight is a toss-up, but I'm sort of leaning Jessie Miel to win this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, the next fight we have, Julius Glekas versus Alex Polizzi. Now, Julius Glekas, he is currently on a nice streak. He has currently won literally all of his last 7 pro MMA bouts. He did go on the into LFA 6. He got a second round rear naked choke submission, and then got a shot in the Contender Series where he got a third round rear naked choke submission, and then beat Jordan Young by unanimous decision at Bellator. Honestly, this dude could be in the UFC right now. Alex Polizzi could also be in the UFC right now. He's an undefeated fighter, currently ranked 63rd at lightweight worldwide. Very good lightweights in this bout right here. Honestly, Julius and Glekas, he is ranked 70th. So these guys they're similar ranks right now. Now the thing that I think is gonna play a huge factor in this fight is in the last fight we saw Alex Polizzi just go for takedown after takedown after takedown against a veteran fighter in Rafael Carvalho, and he dominated that fight to get a unanimous decision win. I kind of think he's going to do that again tonight and beat Julius and Glekas by unanimous decision. That's my prediction. Alex Polizzi by unanimous decision at light heavyweight. The next fight, this fight I am really, really looking forward to. We have Bryce Logan taking on Georgi Karachonyan. Now, Bryce Logan, he is a very interesting fighter. He's 30 years old. He's 5'9" tall, has a 70-inch reach, 1 inch taller, and has 3 inches on the reach against Georgi Karachonyan. Now, Bryce Logan, he was recently inside the LFA. Got a 2-fight win streak against Kenneth Glenn and Jonas Flock, which got him a main event spot against Jacob Rosales, which he won by unanimous decision at LFA 87. Georgi Karachonyan, on the other hand, he is a veteran fighter, the 85th best lightweight fighter in the world. He's had a very up and down time inside of Bellator. He won his first fight in the promotion by first round guillotine, lost his next 2 by unanimous decision, came back with 2 first round KOs in a row, lost a unanimous decision, came back with a second round TKO, lost his next by unanimous decision, came back with a unanimous decision, lost a unanimous decision, lost a KO to AJ McKee Jr., came back with a second round guillotine choke, and then most recently got a split decision loss to Miles Jury. Honestly, this fight should be very, very good, but I do think Bryce Logan coming in from the LFA will honestly be a very good match against Karachonyan. I think Logan will outstrike Karachonyan on the feet very, very well. I don't think this fight's going to go on the ground as much as Karachonyan might think it will, because that's probably where he's going to want the fight to be, so he could go for some submissions in this fight. But I don't think this fight's going to go on the ground, and I do think Bryce Logan will win this fight by unanimous decision. The next fight we have is the last fight on the prelims. 2-0-0, guys. We have Jalen Bates versus Joe Sapino. Both of these fighters are very good in their amateur career. But honestly, Bates, guys, look up his resume. If you look at that amateur career, it's just finishes. Now he does have 2 unanimous decision wins in his amateur career. But still, come on, he has a lot of finishes. Honestly, in this fight against an 0-0 fighter in Joe Sapino, he could definitely get a knockout in this fight. I'm just not seeing it. I think this fight will go the way, and I do think Bates will win this fight by unanimous decision. And that brings us to our main card. We have Austin Vanford versus Vincius de Jesus. Now, this first fight on the main card, we have 2 30-and-a-half years old taking it on. They're both similar height, similar reach. They're basically identical when it comes to height, reach, and age. Now, the only thing that kind of sets them apart is Vanderford's grappling game, honestly. If Vanderford gets you to the ground, he's going to go for submission after submission after submission. And he's gonna get one. Honestly, he did get a win at Dana White's Contender Series back in 2018 by second round rear naked choke submission. And then just kept on winning with a first round KO, first round arm triangle choke, second round TKO, unanimous decision. Honestly, this dude is an undefeated fighter. He honestly should get a shot in the UFC. Vincius Jesus is coming off of a loss to a pretty good fighter in Jaleel Willis. But I do think Austin Vanderford is going to be way too much for Vincius to handle. He will win this fight by unanimous decision. And that brings us to Derek Anderson versus Khalid Mota. To be honest, I'm just going to say it right now. Anderson, unanimous decision. All right, moving on. Tyrell Fortune versus Saeed Salma. This is kind of the same as the last fight we just did. Tyrell Fortune, knockout first or second round. This dude's not like a knockout, like on like a striking knockout. I think he'll take you down, take Saeed down, and just try to get a TKO. I think that's what's gonna happen. Tyrell Fortune by TKO in the co-main event against Saeed Salma. Now for the main event, you guys probably know what I'm going to predict. I'm going to say it right now. Melvin Manhoef, 44.5 years old, 5'8", has a 71-inch reach. Corey Anderson, 31 years old, has a 6'3" tall height, and has a 79-inch reach. Corey Anderson, first, second, or third round knockout. Honestly, he's going to get a knockout in this fight. So those are my predictions. In the main event, we got Corey Anderson taking on Melvin Manhoef. This should be an amazing card, even though there was supposed to be 13 pro MMA bouts on this card. Now there's only 10. There's still a lot of talent on this card. We have Bryce, Logan. We have Austin Vanderford. We have Derek Anderson. We have a lot of very good fighters. We have Julius and Glekas. We have Alex Polizzi. We have amazing fighters on this card. Tyrell Fortune, Corey Anderson. These guys are amazing. This has been a fun video. I'm out of here.